This film is a family affair. My, my brother was there, my wife was there, and there's a baby on its way who was present. So
The first are always challenging, and if you're asking about motherhood and everything coming together at the same time, I really don't know what I would have done had Aditya not been there by my side. Had it been
Jaan le lo Aditya. You will get to know that if it's going to be a Lakshmi or a Ganesha, but
so sweet.
there was a huge problem which I feel with our industry where the talent was not being backed. It was like she said that like there was thoda chacha bhatija vaad thoda zyada tha. Our company's motto is that let's give chance to people who are outsiders, who really deserve that opportunity, because I didn't get it. I didn't have any godfather, I didn't have any mai baap.
Aditya, for giving me this opportunity. You would have been in trouble otherwise. And this is healthy nepotism. Ye acha wala nepotism. So, family. So,
This is a very personal film for us. We are both Kashmiri Pandits, so our families have been affected by this thing. So this is not something that we were thinking of making when the Article 370 was abrogated. The germination of this happened much before that.
Right.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the team is here. और इस बहुत ही खास शुरुआत के बाद, it's time to take a look at the trailer. जैसा मैंने कहा, teaser को बहुत सारा प्यार मिला है. So आपको सीधे trailer दिखा रहा हूँ मैं यहाँ पे. Of course, the song has got a lot of love. They've put in a lot of hard work and a lot of soul, I would say.
I'm not sure about whether the timelines coincided or not, but if in case it coincided, I'm sure it must have been a lot more difficult to do those things. So mentally, how was it taxing for you? Was it challenging? Because आप enjoy करते हो, like you said already, that you take the fun side of it and you enjoy the process. But mentally, was it tough to reach that stage of toughness? And then I have a question for Aditya as well.
wow, only if I could write thesis on it. And how I felt. Thank you so much. Of course, it's mentally, there's so many questions. The first are always challenging, and if you're asking about motherhood and everything coming together at the same time, I really don't know what I would have done had Aditya not been there by my side. Had it been
Jaan le lo Aditya.
and Lokesh Bhaiya, everybody. I mean, it was of course a home production, but you're part of something. There's a sense of responsibility as an actor, and credibility as an actor, that you have to consistently be at it. Of course, we took precautions. That's also not a time where you tell everybody that okay, this is what's going to happen. It's the most it's something which is kept secret, right? And but luckily, most of the stunts and the whole training bit, it was very rigorous training for weeks. As I already mentioned, very thankful to Keshav sir and Bhushan sir. He also took us to NSG here in Mumbai, and my God, that has to be one of the best days of my life, where you actually got to fire live, and I came out looking red like an apple. And they said, "What happened?" I said, "I don't know. I really enjoyed firing those shots." And so many emotions, of course, so many things. You want to be conscious, you want to be cautious, you want to be careful. I'm really thankful to some of the doctors that who were supervising this secretly. And so we were mostly left with the talkie portion or the walking shots, which we could work around and manage. But all in all, as he said, this was almost felt like more than surreal, like your baby is also part of this whole thing. There were always two of us putting that effort, two of us walking, two of us saying those lines. One, if I'm rehearsing, I'm sure the baby is listening, and I'll never. And I think somewhere the inspiration also comes from how I've seen my mother, work her way through when she was expecting my siblings, or I'm sure the kind of stories I've heard when she was expecting me. I think the kind of mental makeup, especially we Indian women have, I think it's way more stronger than we give ourselves credit for. So. Yeah.
You have to spill some beans or secrets कुछ share करने पड़ेंगे. How come you so pro at handling all these weapons यार? क्या चल रहा था? Undercover cop वगैरह तो नहीं हो आप? कहीं कुछ चल रहा था ऐसा?
Someone said it very rightly. It's straight from the heart, and so there are a lot of emotions brimming right now. And to answer your question technically, I'll first just sum it up what this film means to me. Article 370. It's been a while I've been working in the industry, and years of hard work, years of patience, years of disappointments, and still a lot of hope. And I think if I have to culminate it in one film and put it out there, I think it'll be Article 370 for me. So it means so much. And talking about the action bit, पहले पता नहीं किसी ने ऑफर ही नहीं किया रोल. शायद मैं अपना सोशल मीडिया अपडेट नहीं करती हूँ अपने स्किल्स. तो शायद. But obviously every role comes with its own set of challenges and मेहनत जो सब करते हैं. ऐसा it's my job, to do what I do. Of course, काफ़ी challenges or physical challenges or to learn. Thank you. So, yes, he's very caring. Professionally, of course, there was training. I'm very thankful to Colonel Keshwinder Singh and Bhushan sir for helping us with the military, the advice and handling how to work with weapons. I mean, who gets an opportunity every day to fire these Glock 17s and MP5s? I think this was, so I don't have, what I'm trying to say, I don't have any sad story. I don't want to make it like, मैंने बहुत मेहनत बहुत मैं यहाँ गिर गई मैं वहाँ गिर गई मुझे ये इंजरी आई. That's not important. The important bit is for me that I really had a blast working on this film. Wow. I had a great time working on this film, and I enjoyed that challenge. I think जिस दिन आप उस pain को उस जो भी whatever you're going through or you're learning something new, you make it fun, you own it up, and you start having fun. Even though the BTS pictures might not support what I'm saying right now, I still look very intense. But that's the beauty of it. So thank you, Aditya, for giving me this opportunity. You would have been in trouble otherwise. And this is healthy nepotism. Ye acha wala nepotism. So family. So it was really good.
Both of you on that big screen are looking fabulous.
Thank you.
Like that chemistry, जितनी भी देर के लिए हमें देखने को मिली है, that's something out of the world.
Thank you.
So मुझे सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए, changing face of entertainment, cinema. This is what we've been talking about. We've been talking about pan-Indian films. लेकिन यहाँ पे जो सबसे हटके चीज हो रही है, that's another first, I would say, kind of, कि दो leading ladies हैं, उन्होंने वो सारा जिम्मा अपने कंधों पे ले लिया है to present this wonderful film. How do you see that? What do you have to say on that?
Thank God, I think you asked me this question and you didn't ask me why I wasn't holding a gun or why I didn't fire any gun or anything. For that thing, I have to complain to Aditya sir about that. Because in this film, I wasn't offered, okay, so I'm not holding any gun. Unfortunately, I don't have any action sequences in this, but you can see the action you can see when it comes on the big screen on the 23rd. But yes, talking about the cinema as such, how we were on this project and how we handled the whole project, I think it's all thanks to Aditya Jhamle and Aditya sir there. Both the Adityas, they had the story, it was so strong, the characters were so strong that I think it was very easy for us to bring something bring something live to all of you. And I just hope all of you love what you see. I mean, I'm sure you've loved what you've seen so far, but picture abhi baki hai, तो जब 23rd को आ जाएगा आपको पता चलेगा.
This film, although of course we are the faces right now,
Yeah.
with the actors sitting in front of you, and we happen to be females, so you know. But what I'm trying to say that this film is not about us. It's not about Zuni or Rajeshwari.
Yeah.
This film is about Article 370 and a whole full-fledged team that was responsible for making this this mission happen successfully, and which is the reason why it went down in as a landmark chapter in our political history. So it is not about us. It's much more than that. Yeah. And this is just a gist of what you've seen, because in real life that's exactly how it's happened. You know, so it's a tribute to them, and it's just our way of telling their story of how some men and women of courage and efficiency, how they to imagine that someone's actually gone down and done that, and how between that why and how, that's what the story is.
Right. सबसे पहले ये थोड़ा सा ऑफ जा रहा हूँ मैं, कितना कंफ्यूजन होता था सर आदित्य.
So the thing is, so मेरे लिए अभी आदित्य नाम एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर रहा है मेरे इनके कंपनी में वगैरह, because of the confusion, so they call me either AJ or Zamle.
Simple. See, I knew it. ये निकली अंदर की बात. अब जो most important चीज है, so we've all heard about action thrillers, political dramas. यहाँ ये एक अलग genre आप तैयार कर रहे हो, action political drama. तो ये डेब्यू के लिए ये कहाँ से कैसे शुरुआत हुई? टॉक टू अस अबाउट इट प्लीज.
I think yes, it's my first debut as a film release. It's my first film release. I think जो इन्होंने भी कहा कि आर्टिकल 370 जिस तरीके से हटाया गया था, जिस तरीके से उसे इनऑपरेटिव किया गया था, और जितनी the first thing, it was a secretive mission.
Right.
It happened without letting anybody know, and the second important thing, it happened without any innocent innocent bloodshed for that matter, without firing a bullet or anything like that. So ऐसे आप जब मिशन करते हो तो it definitely has lot of facets in it which are not in public domain. So when me and Aditya, when we came across those things, when we did the research and when we saw everything on the table, that time we just realized that drama इसमें है. When you have so much of information to be told to the audience, जो public domain में है ही नहीं, लोगों को ये पता ही नहीं है कि आर्टिकल 370 कैसे हटाया गया था, जो पर्दे के पीछे जो चल रहा था. तो जब ये देखा तो obviously then it automatically had everything. It had action, it had drama, it had politics, and in India we felt that political films करने में एक shyness होता है, we don't really attempt to it. But if you see in Western cultures, Western film basically, in Western films, they are making those kind of films. So we wanted to set up a trend where we make a film which kind of mixes these different narratives and different genres together and gives a cinematic experience about this whole operation. Right. And I think actors and everybody, the entire crew, they just did fabulous job in actually helping us to translate that vision on the screen.
Right. How real is this gonna be? How real is this going to be?
It's going to be very authentic, because the research that has gone down for months about how every किस तरीके से हर facet में ये किया था, implementation किया था,
right,
had lot of detailings, and we tried to portray every detail as much as possible, may it be even in action, or may it be even in politics, or may it be any other things that we show, whether it is a PMO bureaucrat or those details, how things happened, किसने क्या step ले ली, उसके वजह से क्या हुआ. So जितना हम cinematic experience में डाल सकते हैं और हम उनको close to realism लेके आ सकते हैं, we have tried our best, and I think we are very close to real.
Geo Studios, B62 Studios, एक साथ आना, and this is just the beginning. Talk to us about that, please.
So, first and foremost, for this collaboration, I would give credit to Jyoti. She stood by us for a project like this, like a rock. Everybody in Geo has backed us relentlessly on this project. Sorry, I've got a little, थोड़ा गला खराब है, तो मैं हल्की से बात कर रहा हूँ. But emotion कायम है. तो yeah, so we have been collaborating quite a lot. We have already done about 3 films which will be coming out now, and it has been one of the most wonderful and one of the most satisfying collaborations and experiences. And it's really beautiful that you have a producer along with you who gives you a complete free hand. And for a creative person, there is nothing more important than that. Believes in you, trusts in you, gives you complete free hand. And the kind of support they gave us and Jamle, I don't know many people who have given that kind of support for a first-time filmmaker and a first-time producer. So I would give all credit to Gio and Jyoti and Priyanka and the entire team of Gio.
Right. So it's like, talking about new beginnings. So B62, your maiden production. And of course, the both of you, the wonderful couple here, they are welcoming some more good news. So would you like to talk about that? मैंने कर दिया आप लोगों का घमासान.
So this film is a family affair. My brother was there, my wife was there, and there's a baby on its way who was present. So
Thank you.
outside. But it was an amazing time because the way the film happened and the way we got to know about the baby on its way also, it almost felt like वो अभिमन्यु वाली story याद आ गई. The baby knows exactly about how 370 was abrogated, but yeah, so that's how it happened. But yeah, soon you will get to know that if it's gonna be a Lakshmi or a Ganesha, but
So sweet.
It's going to be happiness, I'm sure. It's going to be happiness. One last thing, creatively you're collaborating with,
Yes.
I think this is your Agla collaboration. So how was that?
it was phenomenal. मतलब सेट पे डिस्कशन होते थे, फिर घर पे जाके डांट खाते थे. It was good fun. No, I'm kidding. No, but she's a thorough professional and she knows her shit. Sorry to say that, but she knows her shit really, really well. So, and it's something where I really feel honored and privileged that I truly feel I lucked out that I got married to her, because as a human being, she's one of the best human beings you will ever meet. She's spiritual, she's religious, she's somebody who's very thorough about her work. She's very professional. If you call her at 6 a.m. for a shoot, she'll be there no matter what by 5:30. And she'll be ready, like sitting, waiting. And for that, she'll get up at like 3:30, take a shower, and then do puja every day, no matter what. So that way I completely lucked out professionally, personally. I think I'm one of the most luckiest guy in this world.
That's an awe moment. Aditya Dhar sir, thank you.
If I cry right now, they'll say it's pregnancy hormones, but it's not. It's
No, don't cry. By the way, Lokesh is older than me. He's 5-6 years older than me. He looks younger, but he's older than me.
Lokesh sir, this one's for you. Please tell us, सबसे पहले B62 is what? Like,
Yeah. So B62 is the address where we grew up, Aditya and me. So it's the place where I was born. It's the place Aditya was born. It's the place where our parents got married. And the first 12, 13 years of my life and 7-8 years of Aditya's life, we grew up there. Mm-hmm. So the history is basically, on one side there was a theater called Sapna. This is in Delhi. Okay. And on the other side there was a theater called Alankar. And every Sunday, our parents would take us to one of the theaters.
Right.
And that's where our love for film started. We became extremely passionate. We were big fans of Amitabh and all of that world. So we are not from film business as such, but I have been in the film business for more than 20 years, but in the US. Okay. And we joined hands in 2019. Right. Aditya had made Uri, and he had come to US, and we decided that we wanted to start something. And, this is an exciting moment for us. It's the first public event where we talk about our company, where we talk about the trailer. Yeah. So, yeah.
So this is your maiden venture, I would say. Of course, here, what kind of discussions were going on while working on Article 370? जो शुरुआत हुई थी, talk to us about that, please.
So, this is a very personal film for us. We are both Kashmiri Pandits. So, our families have been affected by this thing. So this is not something that we were thinking of making when the Article 370 was abrogated. The germination of this happened much before that.
Right.
Not this film exactly, but the events which have taken place in our lives, in our relatives and all of that. So in terms of just the film, we are very thorough when it comes to film. So when it comes to discussions, when it comes to scripting, even on the day of the shoot, we are working on the script.
Right.
Even on the morning, I mean, Priyamani and Yami would address that, and Jamle, that in the morning sometimes we don't know what has to be shot where, because we are still trying to fine tune the script. So as professionals, for everything we do, we want to make it perfect, as good as possible. There are so many constraints, but in the constraints that we have, let's make it as good as possible. Let's create something which is of international standard.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, you are always, as a director, you're always tempted when you hear a great story. But as the belief of our company, so like it took me almost 17, 18 years to make an Uri. I was supposed to direct my first film in 2009. That didn't happen. I was supposed to direct my first film in 2011. That didn't happen. 2013, 14, 16. For various reasons, that didn't happen. And finally, Uri happened after 10 years. 2019, it released. And I understood that there was a huge problem, which I feel, with our industry, where the talent was not being backed. It was, like she said, that like there was thoda chacha bhatija vaad thoda zyada tha. And I met him during 2019 National Awards, and we happened to speak to each other at that time. And I realized that the kind of hunger and the kind of talent Jamle has, it might be even better. He might be even better than me. So let's give the best script to best deserving person. It's not like I wouldn't have made a good film out of this. I would have made a good film, but I wouldn't have made a better film than what Jamle has made. And I truly believe in that our company's motto is that let's give chance to people who are outsiders, who really deserve that opportunity, because I didn't get it. I didn't have any godfather, I didn't have any Mai Baap. So I really truly believe in that.
Deals with two things. One thing is about the foundation on which the company is based on, which is thorough professionalism and trying to give the talent the freedom it needs. But also Aditya being a director turned producer, it helped me a lot, because he's coming out not just with one perspective. He knows what perspective I am thinking of. So that balance is something that I think the destiny gave it to me, because I got Aditya, that okay, he knows why I'm saying a certain thing, and there was always a conversation. It was always a chemistry built on any decision whatsoever. So there was no friction of any kind. In fact, both of us also, including the other writing team also, Monal Thakur and Arjun Dhawan, we always were trying to make it better. So it was always that intention, and that I think he's the most important person who led that foundation and that process. He gave that direction. This is how we'll go ahead. And that helped me a lot as a director, because I was not under pressure of, how do I say, if I have to say something, if I want to make a certain treatment completely different. He was always like, go for it. I mean, you try it. I mean, whatever you want. So that I think is a very big thing for me.
The base is basically excellence. We have to strive for excellence, no matter what, and give audience something which they have never experienced before. That was the base with which we made Uri also. That let's give something which audience has never seen before, and same goes for this film, all the other films. He has directed another film for us. Brilliant film. We'll talk about it someday else. That's also coming out really, really soon. So yeah, excellence is what we are always striving for.